I don't want to hear anything about your personality unless you've already done it a few times to know for sure. Okay? You ain't gay? Well, have you ever tried sucking a dick? Then how do you know you ain't gay? Alright, that's a bad example.
I'm not sure why, but you're listening to the Doug Crabtree Report.
I love you. I love you so much, my baby. So much. Think about you all the time. I can even manage to call you like at least once a day. We can even video chat. My audio may not always match my video, and after about 2 minutes each time, the picture might go out, but I really hope you don't suspect anything, because don't you know, baby, that I love you? Didn't you know that? And even though we both know you're not attractive, listen, you are so beautiful to me. You're my princess, baby. You're my everything, baby. You know if I wasn't being detained in Ghana, I could come see you, right? And as a matter of fact, as soon as I get there, I will cash in these gold bars and we'll be rich. And the countless dollars you've sent me that'll make it all worth it, baby. You should never doubt, because I said that you should never doubt. Don't you know that I love you? You know that, right? Baby, you're going to get so accustomed to sending me money that if you ever skip a payment, I'm going to start to get really pushy with you. But you're going to be so involved with me, talking to me every day, convincing yourself that it'll all be worth it someday, and it'll all be worth even trying because you know that I love you. You're going to get so good in the habit of convincing yourself that any of this is true that you will tolerate me being pushy and you will be right there with the money again. But baby, I can't take a wire transfer. I can't take a Western Union, babe. I can't take a transfer from your bank to mine. No, see, I'm being detained by border security in some country you may never heard of before, but it does make sense if you send a bag of cash to a money mule here in the United States, or should I say there in the United States. But baby, it's all worth it because I love you. Or you can just send me a Steam gift card, because that makes a lot of sense. Foreign governments take Steam gift cards to release detained people. That's right. They don't actually look at the reason you're detained. They just want your money, or more specifically, your Steam account money, especially when they turn it in and get 80%. Did you know that? And you should just go right on along with it. Did you know, motherfucker, that some lady, broke the record, came forth, I don't know if you heard about this, and said she believes she is being taken for a ride. They call it romance scam, but how much of a scam is it? Don't you pay for this entertainment? People that give money for what would be a relationship or could potentially become one, you're the one paying and buying whatever story they sell you and going for it. So how much of a scam is it? It's definitely a scam in terms of paying for services never rendered. But how often does the person give you any kind of legalized contract? If you take my word for it and never fucking make it legit, then were you scammed by law? I don't know. I've seen a few Judge Judy cases where she read some old text messages and said, okay, that proves it to me. You owe her $5,000, the judgment to the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. I'm talking, sir. Judgment to the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's it. You may step out. But in that case, motherfucker, the plaintiff and the defendant were both standing in front of her. One wasn't in Bar, Chikchakistan. You know what I mean? They were both in front of her. Do you think the FBI is going to Jupiter to find someone under a fake name, using pictures of somebody else, showing you fake documents that are not real, where the person's date of birth is, but after the person's date of birth on the document is after the expiration date on the document? Hello? Total dose. But you got to ask yourself, these people falling for quote-unquote romance scams, I'll tell you about that lady who broke the record in a second. That's what got me turning the mic on. These people falling for these romance scams, you know how they say, like, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough? I kind of look at it like a hoarder. You know, when you polish off a whole pizza and then just throw the box up on the mountain of debris in your house, and you are a full-blown trash and junk hoarder, you know you're a hoarder. You know you live in a way that is unsafe, strange, and unsanitary, blah, blah, blah. So, what are we doing feeling sorry for you? Just like the hoarder who hoards up their house and they couldn't even get rescued if they were to fall down and snap their leg in two. The fire department couldn't even get in there if they wanted. You know that every time you do these things. So what's everybody feeling sorry for you about? Even when that person's family cleans the house when they're gone, they re-hoard it the next week. By the end of the month, it's re-hoarded. Because people have habits. Habits are intense. Just like if you get in the habit of sending your pretend lover money in these romance scams. So why is the hoarder's family feeling sorry for her every day, or him or whoever, when they know all too well the behavior ain't stopping? Why not wait until after it stops, then help that person reflect back, and then feel sorry for the motherfucker? Because right in the middle of your problem, me feeling sorry for you is not going to help you. A little tough love might. But in reality, we all feel sorry for the motherfucker who's on self-destruct mode. I don't know anybody right now that I believe to be a hoarder, and I don't know anybody right now who is sending money to a fake-ass motherfucker online in hopes of something in return someday. When I see stuff like this, like Dr. Phil episodes, scamfish.com videos, and bullshit like that, sometimes I can't help but to leave a comment and say, wow, that person is really dumb. Because that's the only thing being said to that person that's true. Everything else said to that person by their love scammer has been lies. You might have to take inventory and realize that your behavior is indicative of a dumb motherfucker. That could be the very thing that starts to turn the gears in your dumb head to get you maybe not as self-destructive. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about this lady. There was a lady recently who made headlines worldwide, boo, for breaking the record, the most money spent on one scammer by one person, $300,000. $300,000. Now, I don't like any scammer at all, any liar, any hustler who's on a bad hustle, deceiving anyone. I don't like these people at all. I wish that they would die in their fucking sleep and make the world a better place as a result. However, I don't pity these idiots sending money to anyone. I'm a firm believer you can do what you want to make yourself happy. I don't buy into or subscribe to this notion that she or he felt forced to do it. Motherfucker, you chose to do it. But should there be justification? That's a tough one because, like, what are they going to do? Put you in prison for feeding some person overseas a line of bullshit and they sent you money? Technically, yeah. I don't know about prison, but if they can find proof that you promised something in return and you can't or won't deliver on that, then I would call that legally theft, and I think something should or could be done about it. Sure, I can support that as your president, but if they don't find, they being whoever's investigating as far as the police go, or detectives, and they don't find anywhere in the transactions, no proof where anything was promised in return. The fact that it's a lie, that's terrible. But if I go, there's a difference between, okay, I'm going to give you example A and B, okay? And then we're going to go through this exercise class like a family. Then after that, we're going to talk about big, clear, obvious signs. But mostly, this is what you should stick around for. I'm going to teach you how to never get scammed by this, by anyone really, and how to never miss out on opportunities simultaneously. Most people give up their money just in case that person's legit. I have the answer that'll fix this problem for you. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I could meet someone real and I'm going to lose the opportunity. No. I'm going to teach you how to properly vet someone out and how anybody you lose would become a really beneficial thing and how that would lead directly to what you're actually looking for. But don't get ahead of yourself. Let's talk about this. There is a difference. First of all, let's talk about this. Before that other stuff. There is a difference between lying to you and selling you an experience. Then there's a difference between that and lying to you and never giving you something promised. A promised experience that never happened. Let me explain. I'm going to give you sample A and sample B. Both samples contain 99.81% lies, okay? Sample A. I need help. I need you to send me money. I am stuck in customs, babe. Please help me. You know I love you. I need your help, baby. Motherfucker. Lick a dick. Okay, that person gets their money. The person who sent them the money just purchased the experience of what they thought helping that motherfucker out. Or maybe they knew and thought it was amusing. Whatever the case. When you give someone money, when you give someone a gift, you purchase the experience of giving that person a gift. That's what you purchase. When you put someone up in a nice hotel and pamper them, you really don't do it for them. Think about why people do that. If I put you up somewhere, let's say I invite you into my home and I put you up for the weekend and I spend money on you and we have dinner and I love your company, even if you really needed me to do that, what happened on my end is I just purchased the experience of giving you something that I personally wanted to give you. I wanted to experience giving you that. It's a selfish act, no matter how you slice the bread. If you give a homeless person $1, You have just purchased for $1 the experience of giving that person $1 and seeing their reaction, or, in your mind, possibly helping them. You know, in reality, you ain't got a clue if they're homeless or not. You ain't got a clue if they're dead on their ass. You just don't know. But you did purchase for the $1 that experience. Now here's sample B. Babe, I need money. I'm stuck in customs and Jakakdabar, and I can't get home to you unless I have it. But look, as soon as I get home, I'm going to give you these bearer bonds, and I'm going to sign them over to you, and you're going to have $20,000. All you have to do right now, though, is send me 5 lodge to get me out of fucking Kabukaluka, Kyrgyzstan jail. It's well documented. It's in the fucking text. And under that agreement, you send the money. There's so much that doesn't make sense about that. Customs does not hold people for money. They hold people because it is their job to separate unsafe people from safe people, especially in terms of international travel. Your money is no good. If you're held up in quote-unquote customs to try to get to the whatever. I want to fly to London, okay? Or when I came home from fucking the motherland, Germany, a couple years back, if I were to have been held up with me and all my churns in the airport, okay? And they said, we can't release you because you have a fucking arrest warrant here. There's a reason why something that happened, or something that they suspect happened or could happen, is directly causing my restriction of travel, right? What if I said, oh, but my internet girlfriend can send you $5,000. Will you let me go then? That's not how it works. Even in Kukabukalukistan or wherever they're at. I don't know. That's just not how it works. Hello, geniuses. The money coming in might go on your books, I guess, possibly. But it ain't gonna make you free just because. This ain't fucking Mexico where you pay a traffic cop 100 pesos to ignore the fact that you were and should be charged with reckless op for fucking flying down the I-12 at 180K an hour. Okay? Motherfucker. You got me? This is something different. And the reason I mention this is because a lot of these romance scams, that's in their script. Oh, baby, I'm stuck in the fucking... I've even heard ones where they go, I'm stuck in the hotel. I really am. And they're not going to release me until I pay for this room service thing. In what country in the world is a hotel also an acting jail prison place? Where is a hotel a legal detainment center? I can go to a hotel anywhere in America or otherwise, trash up the rooms, poke holes in the drywall with my hard boner, ruin the place, take a dump in the fucking couch, smash it in, okay? Bust out the window and leave. Probably not going to get far, but the hotel's not holding any motherfucker. You tell me anything a dumbass scammer has said, and any experience that some naive idiot paid for because they fell for it, and I'll tell you the obvious reasons why they should have never fell for it. But I'll be honest. I'm always honest. You know that. Excuse the phrase. Let me be startlingly frank, even though my name's not Frank. This human psychology study is boring because humans are fucking hopeless. It's so much more satisfying to study math, the stars, how physics works and chemicals, and my new recent reuniting love, biology. Because that's real shit that takes place in a real place. It's tangible. It's not something that exists between the ears, made up, fake-ass feelings that aren't real. Look up at the sky. A shooting star is real. It happened in a physical place. Your feelings about it don't make one fucking bit all difference. Not one bit of difference. Okay? So your fear of losing this potential love, well, when you give them money, you have just purchased that feeling temporarily going away. That temporary feeling or whatever. Not to mention all the other shit you pay for. So really, did they scam you? But I think you're well within your rights. If someone promised you something, money back, whatever. A lot of these overseas love scammers promise gold. They say, oh, I'm on a job assignment in fucking wherever. I'm in Great Britain. I'm coming home with gold. But at the airport wants me to wire transfer them $5,000 or $10,000 for a transfer fee. What are you talking about, a transfer fee? Because it's gold? Wow. So, give me any example you so choose, okay? I'll debunk it in 2 seconds and tell you why it was so stupid to believe in the first place. Give me your best ones, okay? DougLowNation@gmail.com. We'll rip into them together. All right? Now, let's talk about what I promised you I would give you. I'm going to show you how to completely avoid all scams, romance or not, and still never miss an opportunity. Okay? Keep in mind, you need to take responsibility, like I just got done saying. When you sent someone money and were disappointed by it because you found out they were bullshit, instead of just moping around telling yourself that you're stupid, man up, woman up, take responsibility that what really happened, you full and well paid for an experience. Suck it up, buttercup. Just don't pay for that experience anymore. Call yourself a dumbass if it helps, because everyone knows that you are in that situation. Or everyone knows that you were naive and dumb and acted on that. But that doesn't have to stay that way. So, once again, your boy, Dr. Doug Crabtree, is going to pull you from the fucking fire again. Are you ready? You should be paying for this. You're welcome. I love you. Remember how much I love you? I'm stuck in customs. I have gold. I have gold up my ass. I'm keystering it. I'll shit it into your hand. You can take it to the bank, and we can live like fucking kings in America as soon as I get there. But you gotta send this this border officer, this travel officer at the airport in Kazakhstan, $5,000 first. But he wants it in Steam gift cards. Hello? That's how much I love you. So keep that in mind, that I love you. And I ain't talking down to a motherfucker. I'm just trying to get in someone's head and stay there. That's it. It's the name of the game. It helps my brand, and it helps you avoid this shit. So, how to avoid all scams, romance or not, and still keep any opportunity that might be there legit skis. Let's go back to the beginning. You talk to someone online. Great. Exciting. Great pictures. They like what you like. The way they talk is interesting. You are catching feelings like a crazy motherfucker. Cool. All kind of feelings. Let's say you're a straight dude and you're into little thin blondes. Cutie fucking patooties. There she is. For some reason, all the other motherfuckers out there, she picked your ugly ass to send you this message on Insta Twitter. Congratulations, you're a fucking pimp. You didn't know it. You start talking. It makes no sense that she knows that you exist, but go ahead. You notice on her profile that her account was made 3 days ago, and there's only one picture, the same picture she sent you, and still, you go on with it. At least the chicks that hit you up on Snapchat and flash their tits, then tell you to join their OnlyFans account, at least they're being honest that they're just selling you pictures. That's an honest fucking person. But even that might be hosted by someone who's not the person in the images, but you're still paying for what they said you could get on something as like an OnlyFans or a cam girl site or whatever. Okay, so you're a horny fucking straight dude. Balls just filled with man yogurt, ready to spray your demon seed all over the planet. This unbelievably attractive, young, beautiful, thin blonde, which is your type, hits you up. Everything's perfect. She seems so perfect. You're in love. You go to work like a fucking cow led to the slaughter. You go clock in to make someone else's company rich. And the whole time you're thinking about her. You even got a little cute nickname for her. She's going to forget that to your reminder when you talk again, because she's talking to 10 other fucking dudes getting their money. But you can't stop thinking about her. She's perfect. Oh my God. Things get a little sexual at times, which is just totally playing on your emotions. Then she drops the, oh, I am so fucked. My cell phone payment just happened, but I wasn't expecting it. You know me, I work down at the diner. I'm a hush puppy deep fry cook. I'm fucked. And you know that guy at work who really wants to take me out and pamper me? He's so handsome. Here's a picture of him. Ignore the fact that he looks identical to John Stamos. But this motherfucker wants to wine me and dine me and 69 me, but instead I told him to eat shit because I have you, my overseas internet boyfriend. So, babe, instead of that, will you send me some money to help me get through? You need to keep in mind, babe, that if I don't get the money, I won't be able to talk to you. I won't have my phone. And don't laugh. What I just said is an extremely common script that makes people money. I'm pretty sure it's a crime, but I'm very tempted to float the fucking scam myself. You can buy a list of leads for business, text them all, and say, hey, I got your number from a friend. You seem like a hot guy. Send them fake-ass pictures of a girl and get them to buy you shit. I'll never do it because I don't have time or ambition, and I'm not a scumbag fucking lying pig. No matter how profitable it is. It's just not me. And I'm a nice guy, and I'm nervous. I'm a nervous motherfucker. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder for you might come kill me or send the fucking federales down here to rip my anus out. Okay? I don't want that. But like I said, this is me using my words to make it sound like a big deal to you. I want you to think it's a big deal. So I'm using words like extremely common. When really, like, an extreme is relative to the person. I don't fucking know what you consider extreme, but I'm going to say extreme because you already have your opinion of extreme, so it's easy for you to just imagine it's that important. The same importance you give the word extreme, I'll use that word, hoping that you take it seriously. That script is extremely common. The whole send me money for that reason bullshit. And dudes, keep in mind, in this particular scenario, we're talking about straight horny dudes who fell in love for their perfect type chick. Send me money for that. To save the relationship, a lot of times they do it. So I promised you a foolproof way to avoid this. But still keep the girl. You're going to not like this answer, but if you actually just fucking listen, you're going to love it when I'm done. By the time I'm done, you're going to love it. Not a guarantee. You're not getting your money back either way. If you consider it a scam when I'm done, oh well, shit happens. You shouldn't open your wallet. Listen, say no. And be honest. Say this. Well, I actually don't know if you're real, so I don't want to send you money just in case this is all a lie. However, once I know that you are absolutely legit, as your man, as your love or husband in the future or whatever, I will give you the shirt off my back to make sure you are comfortable in a heartbeat. Any good-hearted married man or otherwise would do anything for his partner and his kids. And that goes for anybody else too. Okay? Chicks, chick with dicks, dick with chicks, everybody will, your true partner that you promised happily, took vows to, love, support, no matter what, whether you get legally married or not, you already know what would happen. You know what I mean? I got my girl, shit hits the fan, I got you, babe. That's just how this works. I got you. I know you're real, and my heart knows you, much more importantly. And I want to purchase the experience of reassuring you of your safety and your comfort, and I selfishly choose to spend that money for me to experience you never having to do without. Why does a parent provide for their kids? Because they need to experience the well-being of their children in order to sleep at night. So when you buy shit for your kids, you are purchasing, for your own self-interest, the experience of having healthy, safe, happy kids. Otherwise, you'd be like these crazy fuckers who neglect their kids. And they have personal needs that are different, and they act on them. You don't give someone shit because you think it's a bad idea. It doesn't make sense. Why do you smoke? Because it feels fucking good. Because you're afraid of withdrawals. Because you're too much of a pussy to quit. So you purchase another pack of cigarettes. I'm afraid of my kids starving to death. That would kill me inside. So I do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. And I'll be whoever I need to be to provide for them and my spouse. Period. Done deal. I just text my girl when need be, and I say, that problem you told me about, handled, dog. Handled. Don't want to hear another word about it. I don't want you to kiss my ass. I don't want you to profusely apologize for putting our family in that situation. I handled it because I want to. Is who I am for you, baby. So, just say no instead, because that would be real. That would be a real answer. And here's the part where you're not going to lose on any opportunities. Remember I promised it, baby? I said I would tell you how to avoid it, but then I also promised you how to still, even under those circumstances, never lose the opportunity otherwise. If she's scamming you, guess what you're about to lose if you say no, just in case this ain't real. I don't feel comfortable or safe giving you money that I could give someone that I know is real. It's nothing personal against you. I'm hoping and praying to God that you are real, but just in case, I don't just trust anybody. I want you here, and if we're in that kind of relationship, you can have the very blood in my veins, okay? Or the blood in my arteries, I guess. If you want oxygenated blood, you go for the arteries instead, right? Little anatomy lesson, motherfucker. She may say, yeah, that's a good point. I appreciate that you are a man of integrity. And apply this example to whatever situation you're in. I'm saying man because I'm using a particular example. Okay? If she can appreciate that, appreciate who you are, and know that you're a person of integrity, sticking to your gut instinct, and you're not folding under what could be a total fucking ham-wringer job, then she's going to be more attracted to you for that. She's fallen on hard times, but you didn't make that happen. You didn't put her up in a nice house and work to establish your family, get her pregnant, and then ended up on the streets. All this happened before you even met her, the circumstances leading up to it. You had nothing to do with that. A long time ago, I was almost in the same situation where I was really into this chick, but we had never met. We'd never talked on the phone. She asked me for money. I said, no, that's not going to happen, actually. But I do appreciate your situation. Your hardship sounds scary. If I was really sure that this was a real thing, 100 million%, I would help you in a heartbeat. And she said, well, why do you talk to me if you don't think it's real? I said, I talk to you because it does seem very real, and it does seem like this has potential. However, I've never seen you. I have no proof that you are a real person or girl or whatever. So therefore, I'm going to let you continue on the exact path you were on before we talked. You're going to have to handle this problem the way you've handled the previous problem you had and the previous problem before that. And I'm going to wish you the very best of luck. But just in case you're a scamming motherfucker, I'm going to opt out of helping you. Technically what happened is, let me tell you exactly what happened instead of trying to teach you, because this will be educational as well. This chick goes, I need food for groceries. Okay. That was my cue to say, babe, let me help you. Because she had already told me, you're so nice, you're handsome, you blah, 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 whatever. If it's too good to be true, there's a high probability that it ain't fucking true. But I didn't accuse her of that because it very well may be true. I'm an optimist. Why not? Instead of volunteering my services, my help, I just said, instead, damn, I'm really sorry to hear that. You know, I've been in really hard times as well. I know exactly how that feels, which, by the way, is very true. My response was true. I've slept in my fucking truck for lack of other option. And I've worked on the balls of my ass to try to satisfy anything I could to barely make it to the next fucking paycheck. I've lived just over broke. And I've lived without shelter. Not like without a car, but without a residence. I've been there. I've taken a whore bath at a gas station, okay? Totally. Well, she didn't like that answer. When I said, yeah, I know what that feels like. That's terrible. I'm with you on that. And I never said, oh, I wish I could help, because I could help. But help what? You don't even know if this person's real. So approach it with honesty. To offer money is not an honest response. That's something, write that down if you're taking notes. Because a lot of things I just kind of fill up. I make a point, then I try to drive it home. Here's the next point that needs to be taken into your notes. To offer up money is not an honest response, because you know that you're not confident this person's real. So to pretend that you are, that makes you a fucking liar just like they are. Oh shit, well I'm a ugly fat old prick and this chick's paying attention to me, and damn, I really hope this one's real. Everyone in my family tells me it's probably not, and they laugh in my face, but just in case, the reason they're laughing is because it is humorous how desperate you are, how insecure you are, how you've let go of any confidence you ever had and fallen victim to some stupid scam head first and purchased the experience of someone loving you. The reason you would pay money for someone to love you is because you don't love yourself. You're not grounded on the inside. You're insecure with who you are, motherfucker. Fix you. And then everything else comes into perspective. It's so important. Okay? But to send money is not an honest response. That makes you a liar. If I would have sent this person money, I would have been doing it hoping that it might be real. The fact that I didn't offer money right away to where she never ran out of money in the first place proves I didn't think it was real. So I was still in the getting to know you phase. I don't care if you've talked to a would-be scammer or rather a would-be lover for 2 years and then they hit you up for money. Motherfucker, it's part of their scam. But like I said, if you end up paying, then shut the fuck up. You purchased that experience. So just enjoy the memories you made from it. Boo frickin' who. Life goes on. You'll be okay. So here's the part where you can avoid losing opportunities in this. If she's real and a good match for you, she will listen to your explanation. She will sympathize with what you're going through. She will rely on the original resources she had before she ever considered you as a resource. She'll pull through. That woman who pulls through without you, that's an attractive woman who can probably take care of you and your kids and things like that. That's a woman you might want to develop a life with. Not someone you just started talking to and tries to hit you up for money. A woman who sees you as a piggy bank, let's say she's not a scammer, but legit a woman just wanting to basically make you her sugar daddy, even though y'all haven't met or nothing. Why would you want to give your heart to a woman who only sees you as a piggy bank? If you think that all you have to offer is money, then you must think extremely low of yourself. Okay? I would give my girl anything. Anything. I would give her fucking plasma if needed. I don't care. Because her safety is more important to me than my own. Hands down. And her comfort. That's because we fell in love through spending time together. Tangible. I fucked her. Okay? I've smelled her. I've touched her. I've held her. I've been with her for hours and hours and hours. Okay? She's real. That's the point. If it was just someone I was talking to, even if I'm pretty fucking sure this is a real thing, this is a real opportunity for my love future, then you know what I would do? I would still say, well, that sucks, babe. I'm sorry to hear this. I mean, if I was 100,000,000% sure this is going on and I really wanted to give her money, then I would, and I would have purchased that experience. But if it happens again and again, then obviously you're fucking being played here. So just be like, this finally is starting to look fishy. But in that situation, you have no room to bitch. Because you, like I said 1,000 times in the last 42 minutes, you purchased that experience. So shut up. You received that experience as soon as you bought it. The experience of sending the money and cashing in on the faith of this might be a relationship, yeah, that's what you paid for. So you got it. How do you never lose opportunities while never losing money? If she's right for you, she'll accept it. She'll support it. You all will grow and develop out of that. You'll get a relationship out of that. She'll become tangible. You can touch her, smell her, put your finger up there, whatever. You wait until you fall in love, then do anything it takes to make her happy. I'm not against supporting the one you love and receiving that. You give her your heart or you give him your heart, whatever applies to you. Make sure you're giving it to someone who is taking on the responsibility of protecting your heart. I would not give my girl my heart if I thought for 1 second that she was not hell-bent on protecting my heart. I don't do anything in jest. I don't do anything halfway. I can't do anything halfway. I can't do it. Damn it. All or nothing. That's who I am. And take that as a lesson for your life as well. If you can't trust her with your heart, then why the fuck are you even entertaining the idea of giving it away? Just continue to get to know her. And it might be a good idea to see how she gets herself out of that hardship. Or if you're talking to a guy who's too good to be true, but there's some fishy stuff starting to surface, wait and see how he handles that hardship. And if you want more proof, grow the fuck up and admit that you're not sure how about all this and you want more proof. Or just say, I have concerns about scams online. Therefore, I'm going to go ahead and wait and see how this plays out when we are physically together. And I am 10 trillion% convinced that you are as legit as you've ever said. Then things would be different. Then I would float you lunch or whatever. But think about this. Ladies, men, do you want somebody who sees you as a piggy bank? The reason I keep circling back to shit is because it all ties together. How you can never lose the opportunities to find that real love is just doing this. The only thing you're going to lose by saying, no, I haven't met you yet. This could be a scam. This really has nothing to do with me. You got yourself into this. I wish you the best, but I don't really know that you're real, and I'm going to wait until I know that you're real before I support you in your struggles through life. I'm not joining your struggles because I'm still getting to know you. I would have really got to know you for real, and everything becomes real when we spend actual time together. And you know what they say? Well, I'm stuck at the airport. That has scam written all over it. It's hard to even finish a statement without laughing. Or I'm stuck at a hotel, or I'm in border security customs, blah, blah, blah. I'm fucking in a cage with an ICE agent. Okay, that really sucks. I really hope you get out of that. You can support them, but I wouldn't do it with money. That's all their shit. If you marry someone and they go off and get into a pickle, then get them home. Totally different situation. The only thing you're going to lose, if this person says, fuck you, I'm never talking to you again, and clearly you're an asshole for not helping your future wife out, asshole. The only thing you've lost is a scammer on your ass. That's a blessing. It's not a blessing in disguise because I'm undisguising it right now. It's a clear, blatant, obvious blessing for your life. If she's perfect, but nothing fucking makes sense, and for some reason y'all ever can't seem to actually meet and be together, she, he, whoever, whatever applies to your situation, the principle is still identical. I just chose me and a chick as an example because I can relate to that. Being a straight guy, right? Oh, shit. It's like going to a restaurant. You know exactly what you want. They said they have it, but they offer you something else. Don't pay. Decline the offer and go and get something that you actually want. Even if they say, well, I promise we have it tomorrow. Okay. Love you, but I'll try tomorrow. It's so easy. Don't get your heart involved. Okay? I mean, if that's true, if it's true that your heart's involved, then let it be involved. But don't let someone take you for a ride. It's so easy, it's almost hard to explain. And if you haven't understood how you'll never lose opportunity, then I'll just try to lay it out, I guess, even more. The person that comes to your life and stays will be tangible, will be in person, will love you for real. There'll never be a question about it. You'll never wonder if the shit's legit or not, ever. Because that person will be tangible and real in your life for real. And you'll know. So there will be no room for the fear of being catfished, for the fear of being scammed, because it'll all be legit. So if you are talking to someone real and you think, well, shit, if I don't give her money like she needs, I might lose her, take that risk, because if she's a real person who really does value what you represent and how you feel, she'll understand, he or she or whoever. They'll have your back. They won't put you in that situation again. And just wait until she becomes your wife and you break her down with a couple of kids. Then give her everything she wants. Happy wife, happy life. And be cool with it. If she's real, she'll understand why you have concerns of being catfished or scammed or whatever. And she'll say, I get that. I really do get that. If she is not real, then you're about to lose a scammer. And that'll be great. That'll be a great thing to happen. Right? And I'm suddenly losing my train of thought. Hardcore. There's a giant distraction in the studio. But I think I made my point about 17 times. If you have any questions whatsoever, or want to give me some exams, or share a story, then do it. DougaloNation@gmail.com. Or if you have any questions about specifics, or if you want to challenge, if you want to give me anything that I think can't be beat or justified or figured out, please do. And I will be the very first person on the planet to admit if I have been stumped. Because that'll be educational for all of us, right? But really that's just a challenge designed to get you to feel confident to disclose the juiciest of the juice. So we can analyze them and I can debunk them for the benefit of us all, right? So remember, scamming people's bad. Being honest, even if it comes with a little bit of risk, is good, right? So remember to always pull out, pay your taxes, and, you know what they say, don't shit in the wind, right?
I now present to you the next useless segment.
Life to fetuses and death to dog chains. One popular meme is circling now, clearly mocking President Crabtree for his new Fair Care to Pets Act and the federal life bill for 2023, which will make all abortion in the United States illegal save for life-threatening deliveries. A rally set to kick off here in just a couple hours. Live coverage will be provided on this hardworking news outlet of the entire event, where the president will talk on these two things, as well as political unity. Outer city rioting is expected will not be tolerated, according to the sheriff's department. Keep it here live for late breaking news. Suck it, bitch.
I now present to you the next useless segment.
What the hell have you been afraid to try? Or what have you been afraid to put 180% of your effort into, to not just try it, but to kick its ass and become a master of it, a masturbator of it? What is it that you've been afraid to conquer, is the question. Is it like becoming, if you're a student in college or K through 12, is it something that is it a class that you really wish you could kick ass in, but you're kind of stuck in the wishing phase of it? Is that what it is? Because I guess I could say that I had that when I was in school, but I mostly had that when I was in college. One of the hardest ones for me was this anthropology class, which is a study of, It's a study of civilizations through what's left behind, physical evidence. Okay? So think like archaeological digs, pottery, art that's been left behind. What can you learn about a culture, a civilization that no longer exists, just based on what you think you know and can discover off of stuff that's been left in that place? Such as, like I said, that class for me was so motherfucking hard to focus on. Because it's like, number one, it was just an elective that I needed, not really for my goals in school. It wasn't going to help me in my future career, but it was going to help me get that degree. And I didn't really need to do really good in it, but I really wish that I was doing good in it. And I thought that all the time. My grades in that class were absolutely horrible. And I thought I might be screwing up my GPA way too much by not locking in and kicking dick in this class. So I had to figure out how to become the master of focusing on something that I didn't want to focus on. And it was really difficult. In order to do so, I had to kind of trick myself into being someone who is disciplined. And I thought I would just learn about the class itself once I became focused. But I ended up learning this whole other lesson about myself as well. I'll try to get through this, but I am recording mobilely in transit, and it is hard to focus because there is some people literally in front of me right now, road raging. The little white Jeep that was beside me got brake checked by the little red car that was in front of him. And I just let off my gas. I don't care how much brake checking they're going to do. They'll slow down in that process. Me, however, I decided immediately to fall way back and observe this out in front of me. So I ended up slowing down to 40. And they were up there in the 50 to 60 zone, just mad road raging. The white little red car was brake checking this Jeep for probably, if I had to guess, for following too motherfucking closely. But my nerves are now settling because the white Jeep just turned away and the red car kept going. But when I fell back, the white Jeep went over into the right lane to pass the red car, then jumped back over into the left lane so damn close to that red car just to piss him off. I thought for sure he's clipping that front bumper right off. If you can go back into the lane and out in front of the car that you're mad at and do it so close to where people around you can't believe you didn't clip the motherfucker, that means you're a talented road rager. That means you got some practice in on the road rage. I can't even imagine that lifestyle. One, motherfucker, I don't follow anybody too close. Not because I'm afraid they'll brake check me, but because I'm afraid they're going to have a deer run out in front of them. I just watched a car the other day get taken up onto a flatbed, and word is around the shop, someone overcorrected their vehicle because a deer jumped out in front of them. And on that particular road, it's notorious for people to fly about 1,080 miles a second for no reason on a double yellow up a hill. We've already talked about bad drivers here on the caster. But anyways, if someone did brake check me, I wouldn't get mad. I would just immediately identify this person as not stable. And instead of joining them in their instability, I would do what I just did now. I would just fall way behind, let that person go way out in front of me. I've had someone behind me flipping out because they didn't like that I was not speeding through town, I think is what it was. They started following me turn by turn, wanting to kill my face. So I just led them right to the police station. Then by magic, they didn't want to follow me into that turn. So that was the first time they kept going without me and they didn't follow me. Then I left town immediately. I didn't want to hang around the same area where this crazy bastard saw me because, like I done said to yous, I didn't want to die that day for no reason. I don't have a point to prove to anybody, okay? None whatsoever's. Therefore, I just focus on improving myself every day and being accountable to me, first and foremost, and those that I love. Some strange road rage freak show on the road can think I'm as wrong as they want to think. That's fine. I'm more interested in getting the fuck off their radar because clearly they are dangerous. Anyways, through that, now that we're done, through that exercise of self-discipline, I thought what I would get out of that is just a better understanding of the class itself. But it dawned on me that I learned a whole other lesson. I done learned a whole nother lesson about myself, motherfucker. I was afraid at first to really press into the self-discipline stuff and kind of militarize and what's it called when you're devout? I think that's what it is. To become devout no matter what and to do no matter what it takes, to do whatever it takes and to be whoever you got to be to get it done. I was afraid to do that because I thought it would hurt, you know? So I thought this self-discipline would hurt, just like I thought fasting would hurt and making myself work out. I thought that would hurt. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally. I thought, what do you always say? What does everybody say? That's going to suck. Sit down and read a whole book? That's going to suck. I ain't doing that. Oh my God, you mean listen to a 2-hour podcast and actually learn something? Well, I'm more into these 30-second talk cock tick videos. So to sit down and listen to free fucking life advice audio for 2 hours a week with unlimited rerun tapping in, that's going to hurt. That's going to suck. Then you realize it ain't that bad. You can actually do it. So when it comes to pressing into that class, I got better. I developed the habit of doing it. I developed the habit of focus. You know, when I was a kid, they tried to put me on Ritalin instead of work with me and teach me focus skills. Think about that. They, meaning my parents, my doctor, instead of trying to teach me focus skills, which would have taken time and energy one-on-one, apparently that was not an option for them. That would have required training, which requires time, care, okay? Specialized care. Instead of doing that with me, believing in me that I could focus. Think about this. Instead of believing in me that I had the potential to focus and or taking the time to train me to focus, work with me and hone in my skills on focus and concentration and recall, you know what they did instead? They, me, being my parents and my doctor, they just wrote a prescription to Ritalin. And I felt like a zombie, and I stopped taking it one day. I told my mom, I ain't taking this no more. You just going to have to fight me over it. We're just going to have an all-out fucking fist fight over this shit. They didn't contest it, by the way. They said, okay, I understand. But I was prepared for a war because I had already decided I ain't taking this no more. I took it for a couple months, felt like dog shit. You feel like you're a zombie. You feel like you're not in the room. I could focus the shit out of something. But it didn't make me learn anything. It just made me learn that doctors and my parents were fucking wrong. Okay? So I told them one day, I ain't taking this shit no more. I'm done. I don't feel good on it. I'd rather have bad grades and embarrass you as a low average student or a low GPA student or get in trouble than to feel like a fucking zombie. I'm done. What I had to learn on my own through practice, trial and error, and really concentrating on making it happen was how to focus. Much to my surprise and delight, motherfucker, I became better and better and better at focusing and retaining the information. And it helped me learn it more when I was teaching it to others as well. You learn something, you teach it the next day, and learn it again as you teach it, then you remember it double. Then you can teach it forever. So just like any habit, you get better at it, okay? You know how when you fuck for the first time, you feel kind of overwhelmed, like you don't know what you're doing? 10 years later, it ain't shit. You're fucking laying pipe like a plumber, bro, because you're good at it. You know when the first time you ever reach down between your legs and tickle the bean a little bit, you're like, what the fuck is this sensation? After a while, shit, you don't just know how to do it. You know how to do it and deal with multiple problems in your environment at the same time. Okay, I got 4 minutes. I got this stimulation or that stimulation. I'm in this particular mood. Okay, so here, it's an algebra problem. I'm in this mood. I have this time frame, and I have this as stimuli. That equals option, let's pick this one, and this one for the best results on how to bust the big fat nut. My point is, you didn't just learn where your dick was located. You learned so much more every time you did it. Now you're a friggin' pro, bro. Same thing with concentrating better. I learned how to concentrate. And I took that concentration skills and tried to focus on this class, but I didn't think I could. I thought that if I man up and focus on this class, it was just going to hurt so much emotionally. I was just going to rob myself of this joy. Blah, 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 blah. Then I found out after I just made myself do it, write that down, make yourself do it, that it ain't that bad. I had a very similar recent experience with fasting. I'm getting too motherfucking fat. My knees hurt worse. I go up some steps and I'm out of breath for fucking 3 days because I'm too fat. I went from a size 36 waist to a 40 motherfucking 2. 36 to 42. Let me do the math on that. My calculator says 42 minus 36 equals you're a fat motherfucker. That's what it says on the calculator. So I decided I don't have time to work out. I'm way too interested in growing my brand, my companies, my life, my future. At this time, given the fact that I still punch a clock and warming up in the business world, blah, 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 and a world-renowned entertainer, comic writing legend, I decided right now, for now, at that time, I can kind of work out now if I want, but at that time, I didn't have time to exercise like hit the gym exercise. Everybody's got time to do diamond push-ups in their living room until they pass out on a Saturday night and just get shredded and save $10 a month on the membership. You feel me? But at that time, I decided the best course of action, what would work out fully and completely for me, is if I started skipping breakfast. And everybody I knew had a panic attack. Oh my God, that's the most important meal of the day. It's when we suck back high-calorie, high-cholesterol eggs and pig meat. You gotta throw all those extra cholesterols into your body. It's the most important meal of the day. You gotta suck back milk. Even though you ain't a fucking cow, shouldn't be drinking dairy milk anyways, because it screws your body up. Because you ain't a cow, brew. It's for the baby cow, motherfucker. I decided to skip breakfast. It wasn't a challenge. Getting hungry around 9 o'clock in the morning and groaning, that was a little smidgy smidgy of a challenge. But other than that, the challenge was my fear of this is going to suck too much and I'm not going to be able to do it. So I avoided doing it for a while. I would try to do it. Then I would cancel. In a panic, I would run and grab breakfast last second while trying to work and eat because I didn't have breakfast before work. And I wasn't fully committed to that decision. So I would be working and eating breakfast and getting heartburn and getting a mess all over my workstation because I was trying to do what I should have done at home at work. And why would you do that? Because I didn't eat breakfast at home because I decided not to. But then I backed out of it because I was afraid it would hurt too much emotionally and mentally. And you just talk yourself into old habits to avoid new habits. So I would cancel that decision and then have a 10 times more stressful morning. More stressful than just watching yourself turn into a fat motherfucker. Eventually, I had a day of success, one day of success, where I went the entire morning without breakfast. I had the grumbly gerblies. Okay, I had the Hungaritos going. I tried to drink some water. That just made me where you feel like you drank too much fucking water and just makes you piss yourself all day. Okay? So F-word that option. So what I do instead? I just survived, went through the morning with hunger pains. It was a good day of being distracted with work and conversations to where I could get through it. Then it was easy a couple days later when I tried another morning like that. Now, let's fast forward because I'm about to be out of time for this sesh. Now, I can do it the entire week. And I've noticed that my stomach doesn't want to overfill up on the weekends either like it used to, because the whole stomach is more relaxed. It's not as stretched out. And my pants are becoming looser every day. And that's very rewarding. But back to the original idea, before the road rage and before you distracted me with all this side shit, like a sumbitch that you are, I didn't know how easy it would be to tap into this self-discipline. It reminds me of that class in college. Making myself read the material became easier because it wasn't that big of a deal. I just convinced myself in advance that it was. Have you ever talked to yourself out of something that you've never even tried yet? How the fuck do you know you can't do it, motherfucker? You haven't tried yet. So quit coming up with fake reasons why you can't do it. You don't know if it'll suck. I don't want to hear anything about your personality unless you've already done it a few times to know for sure. Okay? You ain't gay? Well, have you ever tried sucking a dick? Then how do you know you ain't gay? Alright, that's a bad example, but you get my point, yard?
I now present to you the next useless segment. Hey, motherfucker!
It's your president. I'm enjoying free water here at my desk in the old, once again, the changing studio. I'm literally working in a studio that's being taken apart. This studio, as the way it was, has only been here like 3 months. And it was the best studio ever, but it's actually being literally disassembled a few hours each day. But it's a really slow process because like, one thing is like the giant monitor that was plugged into a lot of different shit. And you can just switch over. You can see everything on like a 40-inch screen. That's gone. That's one of the things that had to go before like the actual workstation was taken down. So, and there's no proper box for it, is what I hear, because everything's getting moved. Everything's getting moved to a mobile device, like a production truck type of remote setup temporarily, even though there's no actual physical roots in the ground place where this show will be recorded. But hey, that doesn't bother me, so who cares? I've recorded on the fucking road half the time anyway, so bring it. But my free water came from the other place where I work because, like, you know, I make money. I do what I do. I'm fine. But for years, I've carried in these heavy packs of water, you know, and the plastic bottles all touch each other and makes that high-pitched, plasticky, squeaky sound every step you take when you carry in the big pack of water. Well, I've bought those like $5-6, anywhere from $5 to $8 a pack, depending on what you buy, and just slam through them. But at workity work, I had ages ago bought this big 33-ounce bottle of, let's just call it for copyright reasons, name brand water, okay? That you could buy like in the cafe, motherfucker. And people buy them every day because they want to spend the $2 a day. I've filled mine up at the drinking fountain about 3 times a day, every day at work, for like a year. Let's do the math on that real quick. So at that job, I'm there 50 weeks out of the year for 5 days. But it's more like me personally, I'm there about 48 weeks a year, multiplied by 5 times a week, times 3 fill-ups average. This is a very generous average. The real average is the real figure is probably higher. So that's 720 fill-ups a year, low average. Times $2. Jaboy has been living the $1,440 drinking bottle lifestyle. And people have convinced themselves that the quote-unquote name brand bottled water that comes from a store is one, some people think it's actually healthy for you versus well water with earth minerals in it. And they think it tastes better. I'm not subscribing to that for a minute because one, it just tastes like refined plasticky water. Some people actually buy bottled distilled water. And I tell them, you need earth water, not distilled water. Distilled water is for cooking, motherfucker. Distilled water will dilute your blood. There has to be minerals in your blood. Now, don't quote me on this shit and run with it because you got to make your own decisions. We're talking entertainment purposes only, which puts me off the hook for all your dumb shit. I guess in some people's cases, they need to distill their water and drink pure water with nothing in it. I don't even know if that's possible. If it's distilled, it made contact with some kind of air. So there has to be something in it other than H2O, even if it's on the finite amount. But anyways, I did not come here to talk to you about the science of water. I came here to talk to you about something totally different. We're actually about to read some YouTube comments, which are amazeballs today. Y'all are coming back with the good stuff. And I love it. But I'm just happy because I'm drinking my free water. So I had like one of these 33-ounce bottles with the screw-on cap. People actually went to the store and bought like the $7 whatever, sporty bottle with a pop-open sucking nipple cap and all that. Absolutely insane. Because all those people are still buying the name brand waters here and there, sometimes daily. Okay? Which is all I did. But I'm not going to throw away a perfectly good bottle that's durable and can be used now like 2 years. One I just threw away because it was getting a little grimy around the nip, okay, and bought another one, but by then I already had like 3 in rotation. Now, let me explain. This is going to be interesting, folks. Not really, but pretend anyways that it will be. Let me explain. I had the one, and I was filling it up and slamming as much water as I wanted, totally free water provided by my employer, every day at work. cold, fresh out the fountain, tasty, perfect well water, okay? No big deal. It rains, it goes into the ground, there's piss and shit all over the ground from birds and frogs and shit and homeless people, but it goes down to a reservoir, it filters naturally in the earth system. It collects in a well, a natural well. Sometimes that leads to a human dug well, okay? Then it comes up into a giant brine tank, which filters the fucking water. And at my job, said water goes through normal testing, okay? Because they're very into their P's and Q's. They gotta make sure, nothing's fucky, right? So, in one, I have taste buds. And once upon a time, there was like cloudy, flaky shit in the actual water, and I didn't drink it. And I bitched, and I said, I'm really thirsty, but this can't be drank. They were on it lickety tits, okay? But anyways, that was one occurrence out of like a 10-year time, one single morning. And they said, work with us, we're working on it, we understand, blah-de-blah-skis. When you have people in your business performing tasks under your name, it's a great idea to provide them with a drinking fountain that works well. Okay? And this is not, even better, this is not city water that they have a water bill for. City water a lot of times has chemicals in it. Not always, but always. And I can taste the difference. See, I'm a country boy. I'm a hillbilly. I grew up drinking out the garden hose, which came from the ground, not from a pipeline system, from a giant water reclamation place in a local city or whatever. So when I drink this El Natural earth water, I can taste, not like it tastes earthy, like out of a natural spring that just comes out without going through any kind of filter, but I've drank plenty of those too. Not that earthy, but you can definitely taste the difference between well water that's filtered, like it should be, through your brine tank, or store-bought plastic water that sat in plastic for fucking months before it hit a truck and then hit a store and then got pulled to the front of the shelf and got placed on a cart, then sat in your pantry for a fucking another 3 months, and then got put in your fridge. You feel me? If metal can rust, then plastic can dissolve, especially in water. That's how life works, okay? It's not impenetrable. If wood can warp and metal can rust, so can thee, a plastic bottle, deteriorate and release the little plastic dots into your drink. You consume plastic. It's absolutely batshit. But, anyways, little less risky if you're like swashcating out your water bottle and filling it up with nice, juicy water every day. And that's what I did. So when someone's trying to sell you water, literal water falls out of the sky, if you didn't notice. I know some people don't go outside these days, but remember this, children. Water falls out of the fucking sky. There are places in the earth that filter it naturally and dump it out 24/7, 365 and a half. And it's drinkable and healthy-ish, okay? Most of the time. Got me? There's no reason to purchase water. So the realization came to me like, that's something we all know, but we hardly ever go for it because it's a habit, right? Remember how we talked about habits, like the habit of whatever, I don't know. And some habits are not good for you, but they're such a habit, you try not to think about it while you're doing it. You're like, who cares? Ain't died yet. Everyone says, ain't died yet. That's like saying, I'm going to go into the casino and put everything down on my first hand of blackjack because I haven't gotten broke yet. When in real life, you're taking a risk here in just a minute. So it's a fucking dumb, it's just another form of procrastination and avoidance to avoid the truth. I'm going to eat unhealthy. I'm going to drink unhealthy shit. I'm going to drink water that tastes like fucking plastic because I like the fact that I feel like I might have some money when I carry around like a big fucking tool this water bottle that has a name brand logo on the side of it because I like what I'm told to like, right? And I want to be special. Even though in real life, you should just go fucking drink natural earth water. It's healthier for you. And in my opinion, because I'm a hillbilly and that's what I'm used to, it tastes better. When you drink water out of the garden hose, it tastes like the fucking garden hose, especially if you get that warm little bit that's been baking in the sun for a while. You got to wait till that cold, fresh shit hits your lips, motherfucker. But if you just drink like out the sink through a copper pipe, okay, out the ground, through the brine tank, through the copper pipe into a glass, which is your best option as far as get your water getting diluted. None of the glass is going to go into your water. Technically, and it can happen under certain circumstances, but it ain't going to happen. And you drink it, that's probably your best bet. I'm a doctor, I know these things. Even though I'm not liable for anything that happens to you, because this is just for entertainment, right? You with me? And I'm not a doctor. So, there's that then. It dawned on me, here I was, drinking this free water at work all day, my favorite kind of water, right there from the fucking drinking fountain, loving it. It occurred to me that I still go home and drink store-bought bottled water, because I don't like the bottled water that comes out of the sinks I have access to around here. Okay? Why not just buy another big bottle from work, 2 more, and just take one with me out the door and fill it all the way up as I'm leaving? And it feels pretty cool. You feel like you're getting ready to go work out, man, when you're leaving work every day with a big old fresh bottle of water, dude. And sometimes I do. I'll stop at the park and get my little mile run in. Because you know what I mean? You don't want to kill yourself. You just want a little mile sprint jog thing, right? When you're a tank ass like me, you got to start slow, right? So, I haven't bought store-bought bottled packs of water now in a while. And I don't run out of water. The day that I run out of water is the day I'll go buy a new bottle of water, a big one, 33 ounces. The other one, it was from another name brand. I'm looking at it right now. It is a 33.8 ouncer. Another name brand is also a 33.8 ouncer. When you get a giant or the largest size like Diet Coke at Mickey D's, that's a 32 ounce cup, and more than half of that's ice. That just to tell you how big these are. So you can drink plenty of water out of them. And you're not binge drinking water because it's not carbonated and sugary, so your taste buds don't want more and more in an endless amount. The reason why you drink unlimited soda is because it doesn't satisfy your body. It just tastes good. But because it doesn't satisfy your dehydration, you'll drink it all day long endlessly if you don't drink water. Just have some fucking water. But I enjoy a soda with dinner. I have just now, 3 years shy of 40 years old, just now learned how to tap into that part of my self-discipline that will go for 1 can of soda at dinner, then some water, instead of like 5 cans of soda, and then water later when all the sodium from the soda dries me out like a fucking stick of beef jerky on a fucking dehydrator, okay? There was a kid that played basketball real extreme once, and he was so thirsty, he let himself go way too far. So thirsty, out in the hot sun, when you sweat, the moisture leaves your body. And every time sweat evaporates off your skin, it cools you off. Okay, so you don't fucking die of heat frustration, right? Well, this kid, true story, slammed like a giant dark soda, which probably felt extremely refreshing being that thirsty. And it was sugary. It probably didn't taste all that good. But he just slammed it because he was desperately dehydrated after playing basketball way too hard. So I don't know if he was trying to finish the game with a friend, wanted to get through it, or whatever. Or was just having too much fun. Then, the motherfucker died. Dropped dead. Because he put a bunch of sodium into his body and he was already extremely dehydrated. That's a real case that happened. Look it up on the Ask Jeeves. It's worth a Google. Okay? I'm telling you. Scary shit. But anyways, I've saved plenty. Just at work alone, not repurchasing the $2 big bottles. I've saved the $14.40 a year. But in my case, I really didn't save $14.40 a year because I would have never bought a $2 bottle 3 times a day or not even once a week. I've always bought a bottle when I lost one or when I had an old one that got a little puny, kind of grimy. You can tell it's kind of like been beat up, a little faded. You need a fresh plastic bottle. All the fading that took place and the cracking, the microscopic deterioration, you drank. Even worse is when a pallet of water sits behind a store by a window, gets cooked in the sun, or even worse at a warehouse in the heat. What do you think happens to that plastic bottle? It's not possible for it to be PHC free or whatever the hell it is, PBH or CBS free or whatever. That's not even possible. That's not how plastic works. Not plastic containers like that. You know how when you buy a brand new tote box and you open the lid and it smells like plastic? That's because the literal plastic molecules are in the air. That's how you're able to smell them. Ah, motherfucker. You know why you don't smell glass? Exactly. I'm not talking about a glass you farted in. That's you smelling a fart contained in an odorless glass. But some rock you can smell because it is naturally porous. Okay? Especially if it has a lot of soft rock in it, which is what we call dirt or mud if it's wet. Isn't this exciting? What's even more exciting is when I start talking to you about hardcore biology coming up. Because your boy is kind of went back in time, kind of went into the midlife crisis where I'm kind of regretting not finishing pre-med and med school. Not to where I think I would have worked as an obstetrician, but because I wouldn't have. So it's not like I'm saving anything there either. Because in reality, I wouldn't have carried out that work. It's too much work. I like making money at a push of a button, okay? Because I like to pursue other things. I like to pursue the highest goal, even if it means I have nothing for a while. I will literally sleep in a ditch if I can do something better with what would be rent money. I would rather sleep in a ditch. That's me in an extreme case. And I have a compliment today on the YouTuber that kind of says the same thing, I guess. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, I did not want to talk to you about water, but I had a nice, good drink right before I came on. So that's what you get. You get me. You get my heart. You get my balls. You know what I'm saying? So the comments have been fun lately. I haven't checked the actual email in a hot minute. But the YouTube comments are cool. Of course, a lot on the Evan Byers video. Most popular video of all time still on the channel. It's like reigning champ. Whatever. But it provides content for this show, so great. The last one I do believe was I posted a video a while ago with a clickbait title on the YouTube, Doug Nation YouTube channel that says hearing voices in my house. One, at the time I didn't have a house, I had an apartment. Because I used to be a psychopath and pay a landlord my money that I should have been paying my investment avenues instead. But what happened was, there was a Bluetooth speaker in the bathroom connected to my phone, okay? there was a radio show, recording of a radio show on MP3 on my phone that I was listening to right before work. I hit the pauser and left the apartment without shutting off the Bluetooth speaker. Well, as soon as I pulled up close to the apartment, then that reconnected and started playing, which is a feature that it provides. That way, when you come in range of it, you can start hearing your music without having to keep hitting start every time. Well, it scared the fucking shit out of me because I didn't know it was doing that. And I come into the apartment, and down the hallway I hear talking. Like, oh shit, someone's in my fucking house talking to them, each other. A group of dudes are here to murder me. Then I realized it was the show. Scared the shit out of me, and for some reason I made a whole video about it. A lot of those type of videos exist where I have a thought that I think is unique or kind of tells a little twisted tale with a surprise ending, and I'll speak on it on camera because I didn't have a podcast. I did Life with Doug Radio years ago. Totally different format of a show, and involved a lot of other people as well, which I find this a lot easier to do because I can't rely on any motherfucker to be a normal co-host or to be a guest that I can rely on actually getting on the phone at the right time or being here at the right time. Tried that. No one gives a flying fuck about a show that they don't care about. They care about a show that's already successful, that has name recognition for them, and they'll actually do it. If someone invited me on a podcast or whatever, I'd probably be there, even if I have no fucking clue what it's about. Even if it's a total setup to just try to piss me off, I'd roll with it. You know what I mean? Fuck it. It's a colleague in the show business world, in my opinion, and we're going to tear it up, and I'll make a friend even if I don't have one yet there. And if I like the fucking place and remember it, and they call me back again, I'll go back again with glee. But if I hated it and I thought, they're just kind of dumb, it wasn't a legit interview type thing, it was just a gotcha type thing, then I would remember that name for a negative reason. I wouldn't go on. But you got to understand, I'm a showbiz kind of motherfucker. I'm an artiste, right? So that's different. And I'm a natural teacher. And I'm just the zingiest, funniest guy on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So, they also said don't cough on the mic. I'm like, if you got a cough on while you're talking, then cough because it's fucking real. You know what I mean? I had the most insane sore throat, sinus burning, and I recorded like 3 shows in that condition. And I sound like hell, and me blowing my nose and like gagging on my own phlegm and spitting up these hawkers from hell. All that's on there in season 1. Like right around the summertime. I forget which ones. But they were like the phlegm series. And it was so terrible. This phlegm was like burning my fucking nose because my throat and nose was already really sore and inflamed and all that. This phlegm felt like battery acid getting dripped into my nose with my body upside down like a torture device. Don't ever try that while torturing someone, by the way. But anyways, I spent all that time to tell you this. Someone commented on that hearing voices in my apartment video 2 weeks ago. That video's been up for years. And I love how the entire body of work gets put in people's suggestion feeds, because I don't want to spend time, like I'm spending time right now, to create something. I don't want any one piece of what I create to be forgotten about, because I spent the time to create it. Imagine making a movie that no one can watch after a year. That'd be very discouraging. You want to make a movie or an episode of a podcast or whatever, you want to make a timeless piece of art. And my opinion is, if I can see it, then it can be enjoyed forever until I'm dead. If another person can see it, That's satisfying in a different way. I don't think it's more satisfying, not to sound like I'm being stoic or anything, because that's not the goal. It's just the truth. It's not more satisfying to me that someone else can enjoy it. I do go back and listen to my podcast here and there, and I normally laugh at them. One, I don't forget I forgot what I'm about to say. So when I go back and listen, it makes me laugh. Because you know how I word things or whatever. And I find kind of remembering certain things to be kind of a kick too. Like, that's fun. I'm glad I reminded myself of that by listening to my old episode, blah, blah, blah. That's why you make like a home movie. So you can relive the vacation again without spending the money to going back, right? Or you might want to look for like evidence. You've been accused of a crime. You have home movies that show, that really wasn't there, like the prosecutor said it was. Right? That's an extreme case, but you get me, okay? It's good to put a timestamp on things. Okay, last but not least, someone commented on the hearing voices in my house. That's where I walked into the home. If you've fallen asleep, I'll wake you up and tell you this. Walked into the apartment. The Bluetooth speaker started talking because it reconnected with my phone, and it made me think there for a minute someone was down the hall having a conversation and didn't hear me come in. And they're about to be spooked while robbing me, and they're about to kill me. But it was just the radio show kicking back on. LOL, said K-House. Happened to me so many times, makes me feel terrible and really stupid. Well, hopefully you're by yourself, so there's no one to be embarrassed around, right? Someone else who shall remain nameless because the fucking channel name is a plug for business. And by the way, that's a low amount of money to make per day. Think bigger than that, fucker. I put up the clip show where I explained how financially suicidal it is to get a bank involved with your purchase of a vehicle or a piece of property or literally anything. Okay? If you're one of those people that makes a profit off swiping your credit card, you're only able to do that because you play by the rules. The bank makes their profit because they offer that same they offer that same privilege to all their cardholders, but so few pay their bill on time, so they make a lot of money. You fall through the crack because you pay your bill, and you don't swipe more than you know you can cover at the end of the month, and you get the kickback. I still say that it's dangerous to own a line of credit. That is fucking dangerous, in my opinion. But anyways, more specifically, your auto loan and buying property with the bank's help. When a bank fronts you money for a piece of property, you'll pay them back. But you'll actually pay like 3 times the price of what that property's worth. You get that, right? I just came back. I had to hit the pauser machine. Just came back from investigating a strange noise in this house that I'm moving out of currently. And part of me often wishes that I was about to curl up for the night asleep in a van in a busy parking lot. Therefore, all noises are normal. When you're out in the boondockers and you hear a noise and you're the only one home, it's fucking freaky, right? So this comment says, because I posted the video about, if you do this math problem, you'll probably throw up. Heavily inspired by a real conversation where we went through this math problem using the real numbers from her mortgage, and she about threw up. Okay? This comment says, it's a quote from Henry Kravis. A real entrepreneur is someone who has no safety net underneath them. I think there's a million things that can make you a quote-unquote real entrepreneur. A real entrepreneur to me is someone who makes money instead of earning money. And they do not swipe a time card. They never clock in. To me, that's a real entrepreneur. Someone who's wealthy on their own. High Shadow asked a question about Evan Byers. Quote, what confuses me the most is how he felt so good when he first started taking it. Why did it have that initial effect? And I could not agree more. I've actually am ashamed that I didn't bring this up before, because I've had that same thought from day one when researching the hell that came with Radithor. But Evan said to his doctors, right in the initial stages of taking this Radithor, he felt so good. All it was triple distilled water infused with radium, which is a toxic earth element that would often fuck up like cave miners and shit because they would find it. I do believe it was discovered while coal mining, if I'm not mistaken. And someone thought, what happens when you drink this shit? Consume it. Well, apparently you feel amazing, but I wondered why. And then the delayed effect of it is extremely damaging. I mean, he had holes in his skull, and there was no protection to his brain. The skull is supposed to protect your brain from the outside world, and that was compromised. And the jaw detached and was removed. So, this Radithor can fuck you up bad. Look up Radium Girls. I think there's a movie about it or something, where these chicks worked in a factory, and they had to lick, I believe, if what I'm remembering right, from what I was told, I've never seen it, but they had to lick, or were instructed to lick, the little hands of clocks, like a watch hands or little small clock hands or whatever, and that somehow helped them to be applied to the clock. They were assembling these clocks or watches or whatever in the factory. Well, those clocks, hands, those little things they licked, had radium on it. I don't know if the radium was like something to help the functionality, something to help the visibility. I don't recall. I'm sure it's in the movie, and it's called Radium Girls, I believe. And because this Evan Byers conversation never has went away since I made the video, then I'm guessing I'll have to watch it eventually, right? But someone said they've never even heard, where the fuck was that? There was a comment I read recently that said I've never heard of Eben until I watched this video. And thank you so much for sharing it in a professional way. Blah, blah, blah. That was a cool pat on the back, too. But anyways, yeah, I completely 100% agree. And at this time, I'm not looking it up. But I sure hope you do. And email in. Why did Radithor make the user feel so good before it ended their life? You know what I mean? Then I posted that video, whatever happened to Longaberger, and someone was not impressed. They said, took too long to get to the subject and didn't really provide any real explanation. I specifically recall, not that it fucking matters that I justify anything to this person, but I specifically recall just kind of recording my thoughts as they came to me. It didn't really turn into figuring out what happened to Longaberger until after I had messaged my mom and said, you wouldn't believe where I'm at. And by that time, I'd already shot video of what I was thinking, which was, can you believe how cool this basket looks, this giant basket building? But I did subject the video, whatever happened to Longaberger. I've watched so many videos where they don't get to the point until after a good 5 minutes of filibustering, which you'll never see on the Doug Crabtree Report, except every second. But I've watched videos where I just wanted to know what happened. And they took too long, because when you make a video or write an article or whatever, you have a way in your mind that you want it to flow. And you're going to title it whatever you want. And in my case, the main point of the video was to say whatever happened. But the main point of the principal photography, what you actually see on screen, was the site that I visited. So if there was some confusion there, you know, go fuck yourself, I guess, is all I can say. Because that is another one of my most popular videos. The videos I make that are not about me or anything I'm doing are the ones that are most popular, because no one gives a shit about me. But they dig on my reporting skills at times. So there was a couple other ones in there, though, damn it, that were awesome. By the way, that one says, took too long to get to the subject and didn't really provide any real explanation. I never claimed that I was going to provide the real explanation. I told you in that video exactly what my mom said to me, and that was that they took the shit to China and the sales dropped. That's all she said. That's all I promised to say. The question title poses the same question that you have, and I never promised anywhere in the introduction to that video that in just a few short moments, I'm about to tell you what really happened to Longaberger. So eat a fucking dick. Beef Macaroni subscribed 8 days ago to the Dougalo Nation YouTube channel. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Your citizenship in the nation will never be revoked, no matter what. Ever. This Amanda chick said, I've never heard of Evan until this was 4 weeks back. And I might have said this before, I don't remember it. But some of the ones in between this and that, I specifically remember talking about. So either I covered this twice now and I don't recall, or I missed it last time. I have never heard of Eben until this video. I'm not sure why it even showed up in my recommendations, but it did, and I watched. This was respectfully put together, and let's see. I gotta click it for it to expand. This Amanda's the sweetest. This was respectfully put together and an informative piece of history, and I thank you for sharing it. That's why I went to those locations and shot my own video of it, because I wanted my own copyright-less videos, and I could not find any real videos of the Allegheny County Cemetery. So I went and got my own, and it was a lot easier than I wondered about going to the actual place where Eben grew up, the big fucking Byers Mansion. And I shot video there. There's only pictures online of it, but I wanted B-roll footage, because I knew there was an article to backdrop the footage, so. But the reason I mention that is because the whole time I was shooting on location, I thought to myself, I really hope this turns out to be not just a scary story, but an isolation, a time capsule of a really interesting nugget of American history. And according to Amanda, it was. So, her and everybody else, thanks so much for being here. That's it. We're done reading comments for now. Keep on posting, even the haters. By the way, I'll try to come back with the explanation, but I've never been mad at one of these haters before. Even if I think they're totally missing the point. Someone told me that when I posted the video about it was the F-150 versus 4-foot snowdrift. The whole point was to show how easy it is to drive through 4 feet of snow if you just hit the four-wheel drive, which happens when you're somewhere that you don't plow the driveway first. Let's say you woke up that morning and wow, that's a surprise, but you don't have time to dick with it. You got to go to work, which was often the case for me. It's why I bought the F-150 with the bank's money. And someone commented, what a fucking lazy loser. Why don't you just plow your driveway, dickhead? Something like that. The point of the video was not, I'm a lazy loser and I can't plow my driveway. The driveway was taken care of after. The point of the video was I wanted to specifically take that moment in time to capture some shots of doing that. And it's a super popular video. People like seeing it. They're like, should I buy an F-150? How good's the four-wheel drive? Well, this one fucking handled that like it was nothing. And all you got to do is hit that little switch to engage it. That's easy. It's right there in full display. And I wanted to play with like setting up a camera inside the truck to kind of make it like flow like a movie. That's the whole idea. Missing the point. So that person filled in a narrative point that didn't exist and then was disappointed that I didn't deliver on that narrative point. Well, that was never the narrative of the movie. That's like saying, roses are red and violets are blue. Thank you for watching. And then someone writes a comment, a fucking fried green tomatoes review. Well, it's bullshit that they didn't talk about dandelions. In real life, it's not bullshit because nobody was ever in the production cast crew ever considering a discussion on dandelions or making that part of the script whatsoever. But hey, you can fault me for the shortcomings that you created. And that's just not a good lesson on some of these bullshit cyber comments that make no sense and who cares anyways. But it's a lesson on like what we talked about a few weeks ago where someone literally creates blanks, then even worse, blanks that don't exist, then fills them in with something bad, and then holds you accountable for the world they created in their head where you just happen to be the subject of that world. Let me say that again for the motherfuckers in the back row asleep. People create blanks that aren't there, then fill in the blanks with something terrible that they're going to hate, then get mad at you because they hold you accountable for the world they don't like where you just happen to be the subject of their made-up world. That's what's going on here, folks. But like I said, totally cool with it. Totally cool with anybody who needs to chime in, whether they understand or not. And as a podcaster, these comments provide juicy. That's what I do. I take what you say and riff on it. And some of that could be creating blanks that don't exist, filling them in, either good or bad, and then talking shit about you and your comment. And that might have not even been the point of your comment. I don't know. But, you know, I assume it is. But hey, we've all been to beach week, right? We've all sucked on a chode once in a while, right? Am I right? Or am... That's all the show you're getting today. You've been bad. You don't deserve any more. So just enjoy this outro music and send all your love and all your hate to my email, DougaloNation@gmail.com.